Thomas Aquinas caught my attention because he helped me place experience, reality, and God in the correct order. I condense the idea like this. Experience is first for us. Being is first in understanding. God is first in reality. I want to unpack that because the order matters. Living under the sun begins with experience. We do not wake up as detached minds looking down on reality from outside it. We wake up inside a body, a family, a history, a culture, and a world we did not choose. We feel hunger, love, anxiety, pleasure, grief, confusion, hope, moral pressure, beauty, time, and death. That is what it means to say experience is first for us. Experience is the doorway through which human beings encounter everything else. Before we construct a philosophy, we are already living. Before we define suffering, we have suffered. Before we form a theory of love, we have been loved, rejected, desired, or disappointed. Before we ask whether the world is meaningful, we have already found ourselves affected by it. This is why living under the sun begins where Ecclesiastes begins, with life as it is encountered. We begin with work that does not always satisfy, wisdom that does not remove death, justice that does not always appear, joy that cannot be held, and a world that seems both meaningful and resistant to explanation. We begin with what it feels like to be a finite person inside reality. But experience is first for us. It is not first in everything. That distinction protects the project from collapsing into psychology. A feeling is real as an experience, but the feeling does not automatically tell us the full truth about its object. I can feel abandoned when I am not abandoned. I can feel certain and still be wrong. I can feel that life is meaningless while depending on structures of meaning even to make that judgment. I can experience the world as absurd without proving that reality is absurd at its foundation. Experience tells us how reality appears from our position. It does not, by itself, tell us everything reality is. So experience must open into a deeper question. What is this thing I am experiencing? What kind of reality must exist for this experience to occur? What is a person? What is truth? What is pain? What is time? What is a body? What is the world in which all of these encounters take place? This is the movement from phenomenology to ontology. Phenomenology asks about appearance and lived encounter. What is it like? Ontology asks about being. What is it? The two should not be enemies. Experience gives us the doorway, while ontology asks about the foundation beneath the doorway. That leads to the second line. Being is first in understanding. Whenever we experience anything, we experience something that is. Before I can ask whether a tree is beautiful, useful, old, healthy, symbolic, or dangerous, I first encounter it as something real. Before I can ask whether an action is good or evil, there must be an action, an agent, an intention, and a reality in which consequences occur. Before I can doubt everything, there must at least be a doubter, a thought, an experience of doubt, and the possibility that truth and error differ. Being is the mind's first horizon. That does not mean we normally walk around saying the word being. It means that every act of understanding already assumes that something is there to be understood. Meaning, goodness, beauty, justice, suffering, relation, and change all depend on the more basic fact that something exists and has some kind of nature. This corrects a common mistake in modern thought. We often begin and end with our interpretation. We treat reality as though it were only the material from which the mind constructs a personal world. But interpretation cannot float without an object. A map can be accurate or inaccurate because there is a world that resists the map. If I walk toward a wall while believing the path is clear, the wall corrects me. If I misunderstand another person, their actual words and actions can expose my error. If a theory predicts something that never occurs, reality places pressure on the theory. Our experience is mediated by perception, memory, language, expectation, and desire. But the fact that our access is mediated does not mean there is no reality beyond the mediation. Experience is the doorway. Being is the horizon that makes the doorway meaningful. Aquinas sharpens this further by refusing to treat being as a vague spiritual substance. Created things have actuality, form, nature, powers, limits, and ends. A stone, a plant, an animal, and a human person do not exist in the same way, even though all of them are real. Their different forms of being explain their different kinds of activity. A plant grows according to its nature. An animal perceives and moves. A human person is embodied, rational, moral, interpretive, and capable of responding consciously to truth. Logos order is not an abstract pattern pasted over creation. It is expressed through the real natures, forms, powers, and ends of created things. This is why asking what something is matters before deciding what it is for, or how it should be treated. If a human being is only a temporary machine producing private experiences, then truth, responsibility, freedom, worship, and love will be interpreted one way. If a human being is an embodied creature capable of knowing truth and responding to the source of reality, those same experiences belong to a much deeper structure. The shift from experience to being therefore changes the question. Instead of asking only, "How does this make me feel?" we also ask, "What is happening here? What kind of thing am I? What is this action aligned with? What is the reality my experience is trying, successfully or unsuccessfully, to perceive?" This does not dismiss feelings. It gives them somewhere to stand. Pain may reveal damage, loss, fear, disordered desire, or the cost of love. Joy may reveal a real good. Conscience may reveal moral pressure. Confusion may reveal that our map is failing. Experience becomes philosophically fruitful when it is allowed to point beyond itself. Then we reach the third line. God is first in reality. God is not normally the first thing we notice. We notice the world, other people, our bodies, questions, suffering, beauty, and change. God is not first in the order of our ordinary awareness. But if created things do not possess existence from themselves, then they depend on a source beyond themselves. They have being. They are not the source of being. They change, begin, depend, receive, and pass away. Their existence is real, but it is participated rather than self-grounding. So God is first in reality, not as a very large object standing at the beginning of a cosmic line, and not as a being holding the universe like Atlas holding the world. God is first as the uncreated source upon which every created act of being depends. That final step must be handled carefully, and the next video will develop it properly. For now, the order is enough. We begin from experience because we are embodied creatures living under the sun. Experience leads us toward being because whatever we encounter is encountered as something that is. Being leads us toward God, because created reality does not explain or sustain its own existence. Experience is our doorway. Being is the mind's first horizon. God is the source of both. This order allows living under the sun to begin honestly, without remaining trapped inside subjectivity. We can start with confusion, desire, joy, death, injustice, and hevel. We do not need to pretend that we begin with a complete metaphysical system, but neither do we make experience the final authority. The way life feels matters. The appearance of absurdity matters. The silence of the world matters. Yet these experiences become questions rather than final verdicts. They press us to ask what kind of reality can produce a creature capable of recognizing truth, longing for meaning, suffering from contradiction, and searching for the ground of existence. That is the bridge. Experience is first for us, but it opens beyond itself. Being is first in understanding, but created being opens beyond itself. God is first in reality, even when God is not first in our awareness. We start under the sun, with life as it is lived. We move toward the question of what is. And from the reality of created being, we are led toward the source that is not merely another item inside the world, but the reason there is a world, a mind, and an experience to begin with.